Action. Welcome to the video version of Keeping It Weird. Oh no, Toast of the Weird. We're gonna test a theory out right now. Never been on video, always been on audio. The wolf's right behind you. Let's see. Well, that's not good.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to matter too much.
No?
Yeah. Again, let's just keep going. See what happens. Well, we're learning, you know. We can't have our entire house, you know, powered by CDs yet, but we're going to get there.
Yeah, so the whole objective of this is to see if I can get a reading off of this as a photovoltaic cell. The whole thing is that we take this, we do that, we wrap it over there. I wanted to get recording a little bit earlier. Well, we just spent 30 years stripping the jacket off this damn thing.
No, give credit where credit's due. I just stood by and supervised. He did a great job stripping that with a very adequate sized tool, by the way.
Yeah, where is that tool?
Oh, yeah, it's right here.
We can't have that. I don't know if we're going to get canceled for that or not.
Really? No, I think it's okay.
All right.
I think, yeah. So this is the tool Wayne was using. Papa Weird. Papa Weird was using this very adequate size, appropriate tool for the job.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And now, so the idea is to wrap this through all the way around, and then we'll pick up space electricity, energetic electricity. And we did this with the grounding thing, which was kind of cool. But
man, copper is such a more interesting metal than we give it credit for, you know?
Yeah.
I think, is it more conductive than gold? I know it's more conductive than silver.
No, it's cheaper than gold.
So gold is the best,
I think gold is a better conductor than copper. But all we have here is some just 12 AUG stuff. And I'm going to go around as many coils as I can. We're going to get a reading off of this. Yeah, should have got a base reading off of it before we fucking wrapped it, but I'm too impatient right now. And don't bother leaving a comment because I'm not going to read it.
I'll read them, folks. I won't give a shit about the bad ones, but I'll read them.
He's going to just laugh at you.
Fuck yeah, I honestly, like, I've gotten years of taking people's bullshit, so,
And if you've come here from our Spotify podcast, welcome. If you're just discovering us because YouTube is a better video format or whatever,
most music streamed, I heard, is off of YouTube, if that's accurate or not. So I came across this guy's channel, in Men's Health and everything, and he just flat out told everyone in the video, he's like, if you leave a negative comment, he's like, I'm just going to delete you. He's like, don't bring any of that negative energy in that's in this space here.
See, I'm not even going to do that.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, honestly, like that's it's like the counterculture to cancel culture. People are just like, you know what? Sit down and shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Or leave, or don't listen, or don't come, whatever, man.
Well, it's like you were saying, we have the benefit of being Gen X, like millennial people. Earlier, you were talking about how we have the perfect generation to know and understand what it's like to be smacked in the fucking mouth.
Yes.
You know, for saying some stuff, whereas like people after a certain time, they didn't have that because whatever child's rights were there. Just trying to even this out. I'm probably doing it wrong. I don't give a fuck. I care, but I don't care.
Doing it wrong just means you could have done it a little better. That's all that means.
Yeah, I guess.
So don't think about it. Again, verbiage, man.
Verbiage. I could have done this a little better, but
there you go.
I got going on. Got my 2 points. I'm going to put the alligator clips on there.
Fuck yeah.
See if we get a half a volt. If I get a half a volt off of that, I'll be...
Superman pose is good for confidence, folks.
I've misplaced the meter.
Where's the meter gone? Where? I don't remember you bringing out a meter.
Stop it.
I saw you bring this.
Stop recording. We'll leave that in, but stop recording. I'm going to go get it.
He said stop recording, but I don't know.
We're back.
We have now moved from 4 minutes and 39 seconds to 4 minutes and 44 seconds.
Oh, really?
We are, now
nice.
Entering the 5-minute segment of the show.
I left it on the place where I keep my drill, so that's where it was. All right, red to black, black to red. We've got voltage. We've got just chilling.
Just ambient air voltage?
Just ambient nothing.
There is an electricity in this ether. What's the ether?
What is the ether? You mean that stuff that people snort to get high?
That would be a good drug name. Ether. Ether.
Not the cryptocurrency, the drug.
I like Slow-Mo from that movie. What movie was that? That was a really cool drug. Like in the movie, like a movie drug, you know? They always had different like names and shit. That was a cool. Just slowed everything down. Like that's it. That was the cool effect of the drug. Everything was just like.
All right, let's get this evidence of trying
Judge Dredd.
out of the way.
Fuck was that?
I don't know, man. You're on some random ass tangent.
What's her name from Game of Thrones? Cersei, and then God, what's his name from Lord of the Rings? Who played what's his nuts? Has even less electricity.
It's too ground. People out there would be like, "You got it."
That's just to strike up, conversation in the comments.
There you go.
60% fans, 40% haters. Remember the tatist.
The master taters.
You give credit where credit's due.
Yeah, we got nothing, dude. You hold it up here. Oh.
Well, maybe because now there's less if you take off the one circuit. Maybe we just have it connected in the wrong way or something, or
it's just two lines. It's just two ends of the line.
Well, what it is you have less reading when you hook up the black. If you take the black off, it jumps up.
All right, so let's take the black off.
Right, and it immediately jumps up to even higher than it was. So it went from.
No, the
40
people
to
that
half.
do this, they're saying that they get 1 whole volt out of this, and we don't have shit going on. And I know there's other videos out there that are like, well, you gotta, but no matter where.
Well, we can reassess the video and check out what they have. And again, that's what it's all about learning. Like, hey, we did it this way, it didn't come out, or hey, we debunked this video accidentally.
We accidentally did the grounding thing, like no matter what, like raise it up over here, blah blah blah.
I'm checking. Well, maybe this does cause an interruption more than we thought it did.
There's a video out there that's like, you have to soak it in water and take this plastic layer off, and blah, blah, blah. And I think that you messed it up over there, and
I could see that, like it's like a condom over it, and you just fucking have all the plastic on it and shit.
Right. All right. Well, welcome to the inaugural experiment on Toast of the Weird, where nothing happens. Zero. Like, it's grounded. Hold it up to the sun. Oh!
Shit, see, there you go. See, so then there's all kinds of interesting stuff.
0.3.
For a second, it jumped up, so.
You need more coils.
It could be that. It could be, I've seen a lot of stuff with the wrapping being a factor, like the way you wrap it.
Yeah.
Could be the twisting, could be it's untwisted,
Well, I got it connected to two ends, and I've got nothing on the voltage. So why don't we go to the back where the power lines are, and we'll see if we can't pick up something off of that.
Yeah.
This is the shit, but the shit.
Nothing. Got it. Yeah, there's the voltaic, so nothing. So we'll go back to the drawing board and see anything,
Yep. What do you say? Full of learning opportunities today?
Absolutely. Life is a learning opportunity.
Right? Better video production quality needs to happen. Better experiments need to happen. I'd say that this is bunked,
I'll look more into it. I mean, check it out. I mean, I still want to do the whole copper cord through the plants and stuff and see if I have a difference in the plants
A better
growing.
yield. There's a guy out there who's a farmer, and he's growing potatoes that way, and he's got a 6-foot coil around a post, and he's saying that he has a better yield than ever before because it's at like hip weight, and it's never been at hip weight, whatever. So I don't know, man. I think me spending fucking 30 minutes trying to get this all built together though kind of killed it.
It's all right, you know, energy, momentum. Energy goes, or momentum goes where energy flows.
It's a matter that you're trying because you're doing better than everybody else on the couch just watching the videos.
There's a couple people talking about how easy it is to be successful because everyone's just running at minimum capacity.
Oh man, that's Goggins. That's a Goggins quote. He says it's so easy to be successful these days because nobody is trying, or something to that effect. So here we are trying.
Raise yourself up from the 100% or 90% of people to the, let's say, 20% are trying to do something. Get yourself to that top 5% who are actually successful.
Yeah, it's that Japanese theory of 1% better every single day. 1% better every single day. I don't know, the energy kind of like got knocked out of me because I was like trying to put all this shit together at the last minute, like, let's do it live. But we can't really live cast something like that.
Well, I think what it is if you want to record the building of it, cool. But it's going to be one of those like fast forward moments where people like get to see it but not like watch you do it, you know?
Nah, I'm not even going to do that. I'm just going to post it and people will be like, oh my God, my short-term attention span makes me hate the Toasted Weird right now. It's so awful, you have to watch it. That's where I'm at. Just out of curiosity, so I'm going to take the alligator clips of the monstrosity we made and just attach it to the CD itself. Nope.
He was in the electrician's apprenticeship program, actually, by the way, folks.
Doesn't mean anything. It means I know enough to be dangerous.
Exactly. Far more than I do. I know a little bit to be like overly dangerous. You're like sufficiently dangerous, I want to say. There's a difference. Yeah. Like accidental danger, you know, versus like...
Well, I'm dangerous enough to understand Terrence Howard saying that magnetism is the opposite of electricity. Like they're each the opposing forces. Kind of like, I don't know, water and air or whatever, water and fire.
Well, there's that thought that, you know, because again, we cannot prove gravity exists, but everyone, you know, has the belief in it because things fall. But yet, everything has its own magnetic residency. So really what it is just the pull of you to the earth, perhaps. Yep. Someone said, I was like, that's an interesting theory.
Another interesting theory is that the Milky Way is eating another galaxy too. I heard that. Did you hear that?
Really? Yeah. Like combining, or it's just like two of them?
The Milky Way is legitimately eating another galaxy up. I don't know.
Huh. That seems like some real big fish problems.
Right?
I'm just like, that is cool.
Yeah, I don't know. Face of Weird. The Face of Weird, we promised.
There's just certain stuff I'm just like, awesome, cool. Can you explain to me, like a 6-year-old with a napkin? Because if you can't, you don't know enough about it. If you cannot explain it in a scientific term, like right, who said that, like what famous person, but you don't know enough about it. So if they can't tell me how they know that our universe is eating another universe, I don't know. There's certain people I think once you get high enough up, because I see it in the business world, people just make shit up. I see it in the business world. People are just like, oh, I'm right because, yeah. And everyone just goes along with it. And I'm like, what?
I'm right because of the illusion of authority.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
And not to discredit scientists and their whole work, but again, like, you have your whole life invested in something and you find out it's wrong, are you going to tell other people that?
To that effect, I
don't know.
I look to the Vatican and Galileo. Galileo said the world is not flat and it revolves around the sun, not the other way around, and they crucified him for heresy or whatever, and he left his middle finger to the Vatican, and when we all found out that that was right, Galileo's middle finger was still sitting there. So I think that's why we give each other the finger as a gesture of you suck.
That reminds me actually of Shakespeare. He famously is quoted on leaving his second best bed to his wife.
His second best bed?
Yeah.
What?
Some shit like that. And I was like, wow.
What was the rationale of that?
I don't remember the time, probably assuming that he had a mistress or something. And he's like, you can't have the bed we fucked in. I don't know. Maybe, or just a slight on his wife, or was this some English humor at the time. I don't remember. I didn't fact check it, but it just reminded me right now. That's also funny. About how there's so much evidence that he was like illiterate. There was nothing in his own penmanship. In his will, he doesn't talk about any of his manuscripts or stories or anything. He doesn't leave him to any, but doesn't talk about any of that.
Well,
his whole life work, and he's just like, whatever. They
think that William Shakespeare was a conglomerate of people, just as a pen name, you know?
I think what it was is they needed a real person and a real name, so they're just like, hey, we're gonna use your name and you get 10 ducats a year or so, whatever the fuck the deal was, kind of shit. I'm serious. And he was poor and whatever, and he's just like, fine, you know, or something. There was a little more to both of that. There was absolutely Sir Francis Bacon. I absolutely believe that, because all this stuff, they talk about how, again, even in our timeline, no one without mass amounts of education or literacy could have done such a work. You know, so how can you have that to someone, not only was he illiterate, but his wife was illiterate, or his fucking children or some shit. So you're telling me that someone who changed the world through his pen wasn't able to fucking have his daughter read or whatever, you know, that kind of stuff. It's just not plausible. You know what I mean?
That's weird.
And again, like if, it's like Stephen King. When Stephen King passes, you think he's not going to mention anything, and there's nothing in his last wishes about his writing, about what to do with his shit.
Royalty's going to go for all those books sold over the years.
Not just that, but again, he's a writer. Like, it's, you know, so again, where's the sentiment with Shakespeare when he passed on? Didn't give a shit about his books because it wasn't his books.
Well, you can't take it with you. There's a guru out there, an Indian guru out there. He says, well, when you're born, you have nothing, and when you die, you have nothing, and everything in between is profit.
Yeah, but I mean, again, you go with your gut. The gut tells me that man, that person, did not write that shit. That's what that says to me. You know?
That's fair. I studied Shakespeare enough in high school and college to understand that maybe he didn't actually write this. Maybe there wasn't even a person named William Shakespeare, you know?
He looks a very generic, 17th century kind of, and again, especially if you take 3 generations away, who the fuck is going to be like, I knew William Shakespeare? There's no one alive to dispute that anymore.
Right.
Like that whole thing about how Napoleon was made up, and I was like, that's interesting.
All right, well.
And on that note, folks, do some research.
Yeah. On that note, do some research. First video iteration of this, shot on my cell phone. Hopefully we'll get better later on. You know, keep it weird.